Hi everyone, welcome back to Lilac Oaks Farm. I am Renee, and this week on the farm I thought it would be fun to come outside in the fresh air while it's kind of fallish temps and do a farm update. You haven't seen the farm since I think it was late winter, and I thought it'd be fun so you can see what new faces we have or what we've lost and what I've been doing or what I haven't been doing. So let's get going. One reason why I haven't been doing any farm vlogs is just the camera. I actually didn't have a camera that was waterproof. I finally got a GoPro. It took a little bit. So now that we have a waterproof camera, we can go be with the ducks a lot more because that is where I enjoy being. As you can see, we are in my big back garden, which is full of weeds. This past spring was not very much fun. I ended up with a virus that was in the soil. I bought it from the store, but I don't know if it was residue because I reuse my trays, but I washed them. And so I don't know if there was still residue on there, but I ended up with a virus that just wiped through all of the seedlings. Plus, I ended up with some bug that came through and just eating everything. I sprayed very lightly just with soapy water just to make sure, and I still ended up, it just was destroying everything. So that kind of put a damper on it, and then we ended up with a late spring frost. I mean, we had snow and everything. And that just triggered, and for me, deflation, and I already had everything else going on, so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to move the garden, and we were supposed to do other things with this past year, which obviously didn't get done. Hopefully we can get it done before, the ground becomes frozen, because then I can't put any fencing in, because I need to move posts. And that is actually a woodpecker. So yeah, this garden was just a huge, I was frustrated and I just let it be. But next year going forward, I'm moving the garden to another spot, which we'll go do that now. So this spot, I think I talked about it in last year's video. I'm gonna make it a garden for next year. So I've already started, as you can see, there's stuff, I know there's grass growing, but I've already started to throw my duck bedding and all that over here. I'm going to rototill it. I'm going to throw more duck bedding in and throw chicken, and then I'm going to cover it with some silage tarp or about 6 mil black plastic. Cover that and let it sit for the winter, and then in the spring or late spring I'll be able to get it going. That's a lot of work. Plus I need to still do all these trees to push back because this past year just stuff happening. Like every time it's one of those years where you get so far and then something happens, and the lawnmower was this year. Like every time I turned around something was breaking on the lawnmower, so not fun. So we haven't been able to push back like we normally do. But enough with the garden, that's all done, and now we're going on to the best part, which is the ducks. So you guys will see what has been going on with my brats. Let's go. I bought some Ancona babies. They obviously, if you watch this channel, you know that we process ducks, the drakes for meat. We do have the eggs, and I also raised hatch to sell. So I ended up with 16 Anconas, and they ended up I got 8 females. So that helped me out a lot because I gave 2 more to Ace. So that gives him 5. And then Pewter, he lost 1 to a fox attack and 1 to a hawk. The hawk was this past spring. He was down to just 2. And Daphne is the crested. They've been together for so long. So I gave him 3. I did try, I've never had this before. I did try to give Nestle, who's my brown and white Ancona, I did try to give him 3. Or 2 actually, and he attacked them. Like, he did not want them at all. So that was really rough. So I had to take them out. And I ended up giving them actually to Cowboy. So Cowboy has 6. So he has 3 Anconas, and then he has 1 brown and white, which is actually Nestle's kid. That one didn't sell from the tailgate, so I gave her to him, and he's happy as a clam. And there's Nestle right now. Then the other newest addition, you can hear it. I didn't really name her anything great. I just named her Goosey. I traded at a tailgate. I had hatched out Indian runners, so I traded some of my Indian runners because I wanted a goose, and she lives with actually Pewter. So I let Daphne and Angel Wing hatch out. They ended up hatching 7. So there's 7 Ancona crested, chance of crested. There's only one that actually has the pom-pom. It's very small, but let them hatch out. And Daphne has been the best mom ever. I mean, they're 13 weeks old, I think. They're like 10 or 13. They're anywhere from 12 to 13. And she's a hover mother. I have never had that. She's right here. Those are all her babies. And all 7 of them, because Daphne's got the pom-pom, all 7 of them are female. So we have 2 black and whites, and then 3 gray and whites, and we have 2 that look like lilac or lavender. They're going to be going to a tailgate this weekend. I'm not keeping them. I mean, I'd love to, but I don't have the room. So yeah, they hatched out 7 hens. I have never had all of them hens. I had Harry Penny. She hatched out 2 in October. She actually hatched out. She likes to like get broody late, and she hatched out 2 white, and one has a pom-pom with little, it's funny, but 2 little feathers. It looks like she's got piggy tails. She hatched out her, those ended up being both girls. So I still have them. I do have khaki Campbells. Draco is their Drake, and Hair Penny's a mixed. And then I have 2 white ones that she hatched out, which are probably related to her or hers. They're mostly back here hanging out. Draco's a very strong Drake, so he can handle about 10 hens. And my other Drakes, they can only handle about 5, 6 max. Oh, here's Cowboy snoozing. There's my boy. My favorite of them all is sleeping right there. The black and white. My favorite boy. Oh, the spring was rough for there. I had the hawk cut. I don't even remember saying if I said anything. I had a hawk, that's common up here. So some told me to leave my sneakers on and put my shrub rake, which I call my beating stick. That's to keep the drakes in line, because sometimes they are a little rough. And no, I don't beat them with it. It's I push them with it where I need them to go. Anyway, it's still, just coming into spring. I remember looking out the kitchen window, and over here, my hawk had my boy right in here, and I had to go. The house is all the way over there. My back door is right there. So I'm running all the way to here with, I swear my feet didn't touch the ground, and with the beaten stick and I couldn't get to them. They were so entwined in the pucker bush, as my husband calls it. All I could do was beat on the plants and the trees to get him to let go. He dropped him. Cowboy went underneath some other brush, and I eventually got rid of the hawk. I wasn't getting Cowboy yet until that hawk was gone. But that hawk wasn't done with us yet. A few days later, we had to going to get grain. That's when I lost my brown and white, because we were still having issues with the snow and everything. So I couldn't put up their netting. And that's the hawk got her. He couldn't eat her, but he killed her. And then he hasn't been back since, until now. I think they're back. So it sucks. I save one, I lose one. So that's what's been going on with my duck situation. And yeah, I still have all my runners. I still have all them. I didn't add any to them this year, but I still have them. I enjoy them. I enjoy all my birds. And then the Maggies are still around to cause trouble. Oh, look at the baby. So, hi, baby. What are you doing, girlie? You guys want to go in? I don't think you want to go in here. You're just looking for snackies. Yeah. I didn't do any new duck breeds this year. Just nothing new. All it was to replenish and replace what I've lost. The only thing new this year was the chickens, and we'll get to those shortly. There's my well summer. That's Mariucana mix. There she is. That's my general. See my girl. Yeah, what you doing, baby? Yeah. For the chickens, I've been working on trying to weed out some of the old ones. We didn't butcher to make stew meat or anything like that. It's just we need to know who's laying and not laying. So I would like to put them, eventually build a special tractor that can handle the winter, and they could go on the garden for the winter and take care of that. So that's what I want to do. So basically have a place for the retired hens to go and hang out. So in the spring we bought 6 chicks, 5 Welsumers and 1 Delaware. Well, they said there's like a 95% chance when they sex that you might get a rooster. Well, I did. So that is why he's out in the chicken tractor, but that's not the only reason why he's out in that funky chicken tractor. We didn't have room at that time. We're still processing, trying to make room for the new. You laid an egg for me, thank you. We're still trying to make housing. We have the cream leg bars, and there's plenty of room in the tractor for them to be in for several weeks. This is the ones we raise meat birds in, so there's lots of room. The Delaware, she's different. She's not aggressive, but a little more in your bubble space, let's say. Because even with me, she will come right up and she will peck you. And it's not a mean peck or anything. It's like what you got good. There was a ruckus in the last 2 days in that tractor, and every time I looked, I never saw anything. Everything looked good. Well, that morning there wasn't. I will not put the pics up. Let me tell you, she was wide open. She was bleeding. It was like, oh crap. Odin doesn't understand what's going on, he's not. But I had to usher him right in the house, come down, grab her, get her in there, and I was in the process of having to do stuff, so I had to triage her as much as I could before I had to come down. I also had to grab him, put him in a cage somewhere, plus there's the other hens that are, future hens, there's 4 other ones. So it was quite a fiasco that day, but she's actually well now. He is not going to be with her ever. You see her, you can see it, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but some of her feathers are just starting to come back on they're almost fully healed on top of her head. This poor girl. And ever since then, she comes to me, she follows me, she's just in my space. So I don't know if she was just in his space that day, because roosters normally will they try to keep the peace and keep everybody in line. So I don't know. But I am going to keep him for right now, but he's not going to be with any hens. He's going to get the house. Now the goal was to actually have the magpie house done, as they do not have enough room in that little shack. And I want to add more magpie to No Name. So he needs more women. So the goal is to get this area done, and which is just a fence, which it just takes time and can't be working all the time. And sadly, sometimes that's all you're doing lately is working. That is what's been going on with the chickens this year. We've had nothing but fun times. Oh, and we got to show you the cream leg bar. Their house, they have I call it a dog house because that's what it looks like to me. All the chickens come over here. So we fenced it in for them. So it's all fenced in That is what I call the doghouse. I have a roost in there. This is where we put the leg bars before they came out to be with the chickens, the main flock. So now everybody goes all in there. Only ones that go there to bed in there is the leg bar. The only ones that got new breeds are the chickens, because I actually sell my chicken eggs. They're out of stock. So I do have sometimes where I'm sitting on too many, but sometimes some people don't want to eat eggs, which I'm talking like home. I'm not talking like customers. So that is what's been going on with my chickens. We've covered about the ducks, the chickens, my garden. The only thing we haven't discussed about is the farm in general. Going forward in 2024. The only thing I can do is still the same thing I've been trying to do, is get my ducks out of the barn, get the chickens out of the barn, just so the barn needs to be repaired. And I need more pasture for birds. And also going forward, I will make sure to go back to my duck videos. I haven't released any because, like I said in the beginning, the camera just was going to get wet and everything, and I've tried to do a lot of educational videos about ducks because of what I've learned, and I want to share it with you. The duck is so underrated. Not too many people, they squirm when you say duck egg, and they think only thing you can eat is chicken egg, which no, you can eat duck egg, goose egg, turkey egg. Obviously people eat quail. You can, eggs, they're protein, you can eat. Now going forward, I'll go back to making sure I help spread the word of these beautiful, beautiful avian, because that's what they are, animals. I still plan on doing the food, because that is a big part of farming or homesteading or hobby farms or farmstead, whatever you want to call it. Growing your own food and taking care of yourself is what it's all about at the end of the day. So I hope you enjoyed all my stories. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the animals, and I will see you in the next one.